Here is Marco Rubio having to respond to Donald Trump announcing that he told people in NATO, if you don't pay, let's invite Russia to do whatever they want with you. It's a problem. Maybe you got to pay. You know, it's a little bit difficult. Here is Marco Rubio. You remember how stalwart he was in running against Donald Trump until Donald Trump said that he had a little penis. And then Marco Rubio said, no, actually, Trump has a little penis. And then in the end, it turned out that
America decided
had
the metaphorical little penis in that situation.
Penis was actually more dominant.
Yes.
How many porn stars have you been with, Marco? Thank you.
You just pushed and got legislation to require the advice and consent of the Senate or an act of Congress before any president could suspend, terminate, or withdraw U.S. membership from NATO. So I want you to take a listen to something Donald Trump said yesterday on the campaign trail.
The presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
You got to pay.
You've endorsed Donald Trump. Are you comfortable with him suggesting that he wouldn't defend NATO countries and actually he would invite Putin and Russia to invade them?
Well, that's not what happened, and that's not how I view that statement. I mean, he was talking about a story that he talked about happened in the past. By the way, Donald Trump was president, and he didn't pull us out of NATO. You know, in fact, American troops were stationed throughout Europe, as they are today. They were then as well. But he's telling a story, and frankly, look, Donald Trump is not a member of the Council of Foreign Relations. He doesn't talk like a traditional politician. And
God, here we going with this again?
Yeah, he doesn't mean, don't trust the words that are coming out of his mouth because he's just doing it in a folksy way.
I mean, address what he's saying, but you can't listen to what he says. You got to listen to what he means.
It's a story that happened in the past, unlike all the other stories that happen in the future, which I would address.
Actually, it was a story about the future. It was a story that happened in the past, but the hypothetical that was given to him was a story about the future.
Well, now I definitely can't address it.
Also, I just can't. I think what he's trying to say is Trump's lying because, he keeps saying big country, big country. If this actually happened, I feel like Trump would name the country that he said this about.
No. You got to be discreet. You got to be discreet. Yes. I'm a discreet person. I'd say big country. It was a big country. Believe me, one of the biggest.
Trump is known for his
Probably the biggest country.
You're right. Yeah.
Is there any more of this? This is Marco.
Total tongue bath.
Oh my God, he's such a weasel.
He doesn't talk like a traditional politician.
Oh, okay.
And we've already been through this now. You'd think people had figured it out by now. What he's basically saying is, if you see the comments, he said NATO was broke or busted until he took over because people weren't paying their dues. And then he told a story about how he used leverage to get people to step up to the plate and become more active in NATO. He's not the first American president. In fact, virtually every American president at some point in some way has complained about other countries in NATO not doing enough. Trump's just the first one to express it in these terms, but I have zero concern because he's been president before. I know exactly what he has done and will do with the NATO alliance, but there has to be an alliance. It's not America's defense with a
bunch of Wait. Why would he need that legislation to pass that the Senate has to have approval if he wasn't worried about Donald Trump coming in and doing exactly what that legislation tries to prevent him from doing?
Right.
It's just a coincidence.
Why, it's so crazy. Oh, feminism this.
But there has to be an alliance.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
It's not America's defense with a bunch of small junior partners. Some of these are big countries with big economies.
Big countries.
Many of them are doing more. The Germans are doing a lot right now. So
Germany is very wealthy, so I mean, also the structure of NATO is not like a payment, like you're paying your electric bill. It's about basically.
It is now.
I mean, from the inception, NATO was the cynical thing said by the founders was it's meant to keep Russia out, Germany down, and America in. So how that develops as Germany decides to take a bigger role, I don't know. But I do think America should have less of a say in that defense alliance, and the timing isn't great on that. I fully recognize that.